What the fuck? Did I put? I didn't put them in the graveyard, did I? I put them on top of my deck. Whoops. So that was a scrounger.
Oh, you did.
A
Sorry.
wall, and okay. So now it's correct. Now it's correct. Okay. God damn it. Fuck. Shit. So what I'm gonna do next is my life link. You killed my life link. That is annoying. Stop killing my shit and then slowing the game down. I gotta do something big. I have to pay 2 to cast the Wasp of the Bitter End.
All right.
And then I'm gonna pay another 2 to cast the Vile Manifestation. It is a 0/4 creature because I don't have any cards with cycling in my graveyard.
All right.
And then I'm just going to end my turn and see what you do because your lands do not untap during this turn.
That is correct. All right. I'm going to put down a plains, and with that, I'll end.
Okay. And at the beginning of my...
I wanted to attack, but I can't get through the Vile Manifestation.
And I thought I was the one running control. I have to sacrifice... I'm running out of fucking options here. I got to lose 3 health and then draw a card. And then untap my permanents. You have way too much health right now. And you kill... Your control measures have won you numerous games, my good sir. I almost don't even feel like watching the rest of this game right now, nor the playback of me being this annoyed, which is unavoidable at this point. Because, okay, how many Bantu's Reckonings are you running, may I ask? Is it 4?
Yes, it's 4.
Why are you running 4?
Because the entire theme of my deck is to show off how awesome Eternalize is.
I know it's awesome. God damn it. All right, I'm going to pay 2, equip the Dagger of the Worthy on the Wasp, so it's a 4/1 with flying. Set power and toughness. I can't believe this is the best I can do. Because
Are you sure you don't want to put it on Vile Manifestation?
No, of course I don't want to put it on. I want to hit you. You have to take damage. It's the only way I could possibly win this game.
But if you put it on Vile Manifestation, I'm guaranteed to take 4 damage this turn.
Pay 1 for the cast Appeal. Until end of turn, target creature gains trample and +X/+X, where X would have been bigger if my opponent didn't nuke the battlefield. The Wasp is a 6/3 with flying until end of turn. And it has trample. Swinging to you for 6.
All right, I'll take 6, bring me down to 13.
6 is done, and then Gurdat's going to burn me to death. Watch. Do it. Just kill me.
I don't have shock, and I don't have red.
The game is over. Kill me. Do something. Make it happen.
All right, I'm going to spend 1 to cast the God Pharaoh's Faithful. Then I will spend 5 in order to eternalize my Adorn Pouncer. Move to exile. And I will end.
Okay, at the beginning of my upkeep, I'm going to discard the Traveler's Amulet in my hand so I don't lose the game. And I drew into a swamp. And I'm going to pay 5 mana and then sacrifice my extra desert in order to inflict 2 -1/-1 counters on target creature. Target creature is going to be your Adorn Oh, God fucking damn it. It's going to be your Adorn Pouncer. It doesn't even matter because he can kill the manifestation. Just kill the cat. Kill the 1/1 cat.
Oh, all right. Remove counter. Add counter green. Goes to grave.
And then I'm going to go into my combat step and swing into you for 4. You're at 9. I lose the game.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
Or maybe I don't lose the game. I don't know. I didn't realize that you actually don't even have a second creature you can hit me with right now.
All right. I'm going to put down a plains. I'm going to eternalize the Adorn Pounce that you just killed. And move to exile. And then I'm going to swing at you with my other Adorn Pouncer.
Yep, and then I have to block it, because if I don't block it, then I lose the game. My manifestation is dead.
All right, and with that, I will end.
and then at the beginning of my upkeep, I have to sacrifice a non-land permanent, or I lose the game. I'm going to sacrifice the Dagger of the Worthy. Dagger falls off. Wasp of the Bitter End is now a 2/1 with flying once again. I'm going to draw even more mana, except it wasn't mana. It was a camel. Not that it fucking matters, because now you have 2 creatures to hit me with. I'm going to swing into you for 2 and make it a 7-point game.
All right.
And I concede the game.
Oh.
Yep, I concede. Too bad. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't mean to get this frustrated. It's just, I find that, honestly, in the history of these Magic the Gathering explorations, I usually get this annoyed when I'm up against some pretty serious control, if I do say so myself. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm also running Bantu's Last Reckoning, but I'm not running it at 4. It's just, if it's in my hand, okay. I got other shit going on than my desire to just blow up everything on the battlefield. But yeah, I did not even begin to have enter into my mind that my opponent was going to be this destructive using his non-creature spells, and it was. And I guess that's just part of the magic of this set, is that Gerdak can lure me into a false sense of security.
No, I was being completely honest with you. I don't like this set when it's on its own. This set is very, very dependent on Amonkhet. But what all I did for my deck building was I looked around and I saw a bunch of the really powerful cards were in the Mythic Rare slot, and I'm like, I'm not gonna run those because I don't like actually running the Mythic Rares. So I looked around and I saw that there's a shitload of cycles in this set specifically. Like, there's a full cycle of Hours and there's a full cycle of the God's Last Will, and I decided that I would actually try and run those. I'm not running Oketra's Last Will because that one is kind of terrible. It just resets your life to your starting total, and it's like not really all that good. You want to show off other stuff in your deck that didn't get to see play?
Sure. There were a lot of cards in this deck that didn't get to see play because I'm running one of a lot of these cards. I was trying to be. I was okay. So I was running. So maybe this is my punishment for running 4 colors. I would have done just fine if it wasn't that my opponent just so happened to be using a strategy that nukes the board like every game and repopulates it with zombies, and you can more easily do that. And then what really killed me is that I could never eternalize the Pouncer from the last game because I didn't have the second white mana I needed. I wanted to run this set because I realized that Lifelink, yes, Lifelink is a very powerful ability. Gerdat was gaining life throughout the game, and it worked. I tried gaining life throughout the game, and it failed. I got a bunch of cards that are varied and cool looking. Oketra's Avenger. I got a Ruin Rat. This is the reason why I'm running any blue at all, is the Striped Riverwinder. It's a 5/5 with hexproof. I'm running quadruple Wasps, but I only ended up drawing into 1 Wasp. Like, why do I get to draw into only 1 Wasp when I'm running it at 4? But you get to draw into 2 Bantu's Reckoning when you're running it at 4. That's the luck of the draw, and I had a feeling that it was going to really affect things this game. I got a lot of really cool, powerful drops, because my deck primarily focuses on black early game, and then as I gain the mana that I need to use my other colored spells, that I will have it just in time. I have designed decks like this before, and this one severely backfired on me. Haven of Enduring Hope gains me 3 life, and it's a 3/3 with flying, which allows me to get back into the game. Because I know there's one thing I noticed is that you didn't have a lot of flying, which means that my Bitter Sharpshooters is basically a 4/4 with vigilance at best. But again, for the most part, the strategy was to take you out with the Wasp early game. Casting a Wasp with a Bitter End on turn 2 would have been the best thing possible if it wasn't that Bantu's Last Reckoning would just board wipe him anyway. And then the Scrounger of Souls, being that on the 6th turn I could swing for 3 and gain some health, also would have helped me survive, in addition to using abilities like the Unraveling Mummy and an abundance of zombie creatures, especially Eternalized creatures who automatically are 4/4 zombies by default. Gaining 8 life on a 4/4 double strike is pretty damn good. Like, games will turn on a dime because of that. I was about to, take a bunch of life with the Majestic Mariarch, but you interrupted me at exactly the turn phase when it counted, because it was the main phase before the combat phase before he was going to gain lifelink. And then finally the Apocalypse Demon gains power and toughness equal to the number of cycles and Traveler's Amulets and creatures that die throughout the game. And he also adds creatures to the graveyard because you have to sacrifice creatures in order to keep them untapped after the beginning of the upkeep. And I think that's about
how
all
are you
I
planning to do that?
How am I planning on doing what?
How are you planning to keep Apocalypse Demon untapped? Because that's the whole reason I'm not running him. There's like no token generation in the set aside from the one token generator that I saw you running, the Exerter, but you don't get to use that multiple times.
Well, not in a row.
And that's the thing. You need recursive tokens in order for Apocalypse Demon to work.
I'm running 30 creatures. I usually had an abundance of creatures I could sacrifice to him. Not to mention that you only realistically have to sacrifice one creature, because if I got a 7/7 with flying and you have 7 health left, that's game.
Well, I've got Hour of Glory.
Oh, fuck it. I got screwed again. And I try not to let circumstance be the explanation for why I lost the game. I thought that my deck was functioning just fine. I could consistently get the correct colors because I start off with black before I spill into the other colors. I usually started with a bunch of black creatures on the board. Get your presence up, cast a creature spell every turn so that by turn 5 you cast one of your big boys like the Scrounger, and then you really start to, put the squeeze on your opponent.
I noticed that neither of us went into red. Do you want to go into as to why?
I was out of ideas. I was satisfied with the colors that I had picked. I thought that white, green, and black was like a pretty ideal triangle right there. All the cycle deserts allow you to, chump out of colors that you got too many of, or if I open with a hand. The beautiful thing with land cards with cycling is that it's okay to start off with a mana flooded hand as long as some of those mana flooding cards have cycling. You could turn a 5 land opening hand into a 3 land opening hand in just a couple turns, and you could work on your card advantage.
Mm-hmm. But to be perfectly honest, I don't actually like the steroid lands, the steroid deserts that we got, because the steroid deserts require so much sacrifice in order to get their effects off, and although some of their effects are really good, they're usually not worth the mana dump that's permanent, because there's not all that much recovery in the set.
No, there's a lot of recovery in this set. There's lifelink abilities.
I mean, not in the forms of lifelink. I mean, returning lands from your graveyard to either your hand or battlefield. There's not a lot of that.
You don't have to. Just cast an Aura Curse on your opponent that says that he will lose the game in 4 turns, and there's not a goddamn thing he can do about it.
But that's the thing.
That Aura Curse. How much damage did that Aura Curse deal me? Like 15 damage? But yeah,
9.
Fuck that shit.
I do love curses. I will wholly admit to that. But yes, this has been us attempting to explore Hour of Devastation. We should have showed off a bit of red, and I would have ran red, but the only real red card that I liked was the Hour Cycle on it, and I didn't want to run 3 colors just to have that access.
Well, I am glad that at least one of us won the game, because they were probably using the intended number of colors that a deck should be running using cards like these. Just white and black. Actually, white and black was my first idea for a deck, but then I thought, like, well, I want to be creative. I want to put different kinds of abilities in here, because I realized that there is some synergy, especially, the Majestic Mariarch is the king of synergy right there, except for the fact that he dies to removal.
Yeah, if you could have gotten Mariarch out with a Stipend, or rather Striped Riverwinder, I probably couldn't have taken him out.
Even the Striped Riverwinder would have died, because Hexproof doesn't stop abilities that don't target. So you had me 3 ways to Sunday, but that's the game. The exploration here is you get a wonderful Egyptian-themed card set with a lot of embalming and zombie cards and paying tribute to the gods.
We didn't play any of the defeat cycle. Damn.
I don't even know what that means.
Each of the 5 planeswalkers that ran up against Bolas got their asses handed to them, and there's a card representing it in the set. The whole reason I'm not running is because I didn't. I thought that you were gonna actually go full Bolus on me, and Bolus doesn't get a defeat card, so there was no reason.
I can't go full Bolus if Bolus is not even in the fucking set.
Dude, there are 2 Bolus in this set.
Well, I wasn't paying attention then.
All right, everybody, be safe.
Yep. Peace out, yo.